welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and we must point something out on St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
That one of our wonderful viewers talked to Beth this weekend and asked why my hair's always green. I didn't realize my hair was green.
Nor did I, or we would have. Someone had to point it out to us. We don't always watch our episodes. We just film them. And so we didn't realize in our new set, which is actually a green room, that the green was reflecting on Stacey's hair in such a way to make it look green.
Green, yeah.
So in real life, her hair is not green. We do not know how to fix this problem. So for the time being, she's going to have green hair. But today is St. Patrick's Day.
So it works.
So it works for today. We're filming it on St. Patrick's Day.
And we can't wear green because of the green room.
Yeah, I wanted to wear a green shirt, but we're not allowed to do that in a green room. Otherwise, we would look like we're invisible.
You know what we should do the next time? Okay, for our viewers, because everybody's always asking if we're in a kitchen, we should take a picture of the walls, send it to Ty, and have him show them.
Oh, okay. He's going to make that's what it looks like.
This is where we're at.
This is really where we're at.
The whole entire
room.
The door, the windows, everything.
Yep. So a lot of questions about that fancy kitchen, and there it is. It's just an image. So, and I picked it out, and I think it's adorable.
You did pick it out.
I did. And then I showed it to you, and I said, do you like this one? And she said, I love it. And I said, good.
Okay, good.
Then we're good. If she hated it, I would have picked a different one. But we always think alike. So
it's weird.
I know. So I
feel bad for you.
Why?
Because sometimes you think like I do. That's bad for you.
Like, why? Hey,
because
it's just how our brains work. But we have similar taste and stuff like that. I knew she'd love it. And it's St. Patrick's Day, and my mom brought us St. Patrick's Day cookies.
Yes.
And dropped them off. I've already eaten 2. I don't know how many you've had.
1.
They're amazing.
They are good.
Her famous sugar cookies. So thank you, Mom.
They are good.
Yep. Ty's eating his now, I think. So we're in good shape today on this set.
Start the day off with sugar. Yeah, I just can't even believe that it's St. Patrick's Day.
The middle of March. I'm serious.
Gosh.
Like, you guys, it is almost like time for school to be out.
I know.
There's not really that many weeks left, and I know that they're happy about them. My kids are really happy about that. Yeah. But it's just like summer will be here in a flash.
Thank the Lord.
And my spring is so busy. I have something every single weekend.
Are you working all the time?
Well, I am working, but like my weekends, it's like every weekend is a thing.
Why? Because
that's my life, and that's really why I loved January, because I didn't have anything like that happening. But
well, what's this weekend? This weekend the girls' birthdays, right?
Well, no, that's next weekend. This weekend I'm helping with a funeral dinner at church.
Oh,
we do a big funeral dinner. It's a lot of work, and I'm usually there a lot cooking.
When's prom?
Prom is April 25th, I believe.
Okay,
yeah. So both of my girls have birthdays in March. So after this week, it's birthday week. They're only 4 days apart, and so we have a couple of different special meals I'm cooking at home, and Jason's grilling out some steak one night, and we're having some friends over one night, and cake and ice cream with grandparents another night, and it's just like
that's a lot of nights.
It's a lot of birthday stuff. And this year, Malia. So every year they each get to pick like what they want me to cook on their birthday, or if they want me to cook a different night than their birthday and go out to eat on their birthday, that's okay too. But this year Malia picked 2 meals that she wanted me to cook, which is funny because I talked about my menu.
2?
Yeah, she just threw that in there.
Here's the deal: she's old now, and she's an old married woman. She don't even get 1 meal.
No, she gets 2, I guess. But it was just funny because it was like we have this shared calendar that I put all of our meals on for the month, and so the kids can edit it if they need to, and it was edited for 2 meals for her birthday. But anyway, I was like, okay, I guess
I have a meal calendar. I don't. I lied, but I do have every Thursday night. I bring home pizza.
Okay, that's a start. It's a start.
And I've been going to DiMaggio's because I like the new DiMaggio's. I like Huck's Pizza too, but I want to drive through. But Huck's hasn't had their drive-through open lately. I don't know what's going on.
Well, my mom asked, and they said they couldn't get employees or something.
Yeah, there we are again. Here we go.
Yeah. So, and then the week after the girl's birthday, it's Easter. Easter is in 2 weeks. Your favorite holiday is in 2 weeks.
It is. Yep.
What have you been doing to prepare?
Not a thing.
Okay.
Not a thing. No, I just came off of the murder mystery weekend.
Yeah,
So,
that was exciting.
Nostalgia Theater did their trailer park tragedy. Oh my gosh. People loved it. I've been getting messages every day.
Yeah.
They thought it was the
too.
greatest one we've ever had.
It was really
good.
good.
It was funny.
It was really good.
It was funny. We did pretty good on it. We got we made enough off the murder mystery to pay that very expensive utility bill. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's
good.
a big one. and pay we made enough to pay the utility bill, and when like I said, because it was several $100s, and one of the scholarships.
Oh, good.
So then we have the Nostalgia Theater play coming up April 10th and 11th.
Yeah, so that's what I was getting ready to say. The week after Easter is the play.
And the play, yeah. Oh yeah, so I guess I've got I guess I better think about being busy too.
Yeah, you are busy.
Yeah, I am.
It's just boom, 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 boom. One thing after another, and then
I've got a couple. I mean, my sister has to have a surgery coming up, and then Jim. Everybody out there, our viewers, my husband has AFib, so we are going in on March 31st. I would appreciate all of your prayers. He's having an ablation done in Springfield, so that'll be the 30th and the 31st. Then the next day is April 1st. We're showing a free showing of the Passion of the Christ at the theater.
Oh.
Kevin Calkins wanted to do that. So
Oh, okay.
we're going to get that set up, and then the play, or then Easter, then the play, and we're practicing on Monday and Tuesday nights. And
yeah. And so then the play is the week after Easter. That's the 10th and the 11th of April. Then the next weekend is Spring Fling, which is the dance at the high school that Silas will be going to.
Huge.
And then the next weekend is prom.
Yep.
And I also have a quilt retreat going on. I have 2 work trips in this time period. And then May the 2nd, my friend Jessica and I are going to a Mahjong tournament.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, in Anna, Illinois. And so that'll be fun.
Oh, gosh, I haven't been to Anna in years.
Oh, we need to go. They have the best shopping.
Really?
They have the cutest downtown, and it has really great shopping.
Okay, let's back up and talk about this Mahjong tournament.
Yeah.
How long are you going to be gone?
Just for the day. I mean, it's from 10 to 2.
Well, maybe I'll just go with you, and while you're at the tournament, I'll go do that, then we could go do other things too.
Yeah.
I think
the theme for this, it's actually, I'm calling it a tournament, but it's technically worded as open play, so it might not be as serious as a
Texas
tournament.
Hold'em.
It might not be as serious as a tournament, but it is like our first foray into playing with people outside of our own community. Awesome. And so it's going to be a challenge for us. But the theme is Kentucky Derby, and we all have to come up with big hats.
Okay.
You could
Do
come.
they let spectators?
Yeah, you could just be a spectator
I'm coming.
and just shop the downtown and wear a big hat.
I'm doing it. I'm coming.
They said casual clothes and big hat. So
What day is that on?
May the 2nd.
May the 2nd, I'm in. I crashed the party. Okay, that's happening. I'm fixing to put it down right here in my notes.
Okay. It's gonna be.
That would be fun.
It will be fun. So I'm already trying to play in my hat. Like I'm a creative person. Like I could make a super cute mahjong hat, like a, Kentucky Derby, big wildflowers, but also have like a little touch of mahjong in there.
Yeah.
Whatever that may be, some tiles or something,
Oh yeah, it'll be interesting. Yep.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. Yeah, I'm going. Tell Jessica I'm going.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
so
will
that's
tell her.
one more thing I'll add to my calendar.
Okay.
That's okay.
So see, and then by that time we're into the second week of May.
Yeah.
I have another work trip. I have to go spend 3 days in Chicago, and then it's Then the next weekend is Mother's Day.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And then guess what it is? All the graduations.
Oh, graduation parties. Yeah, graduation.
Yep. And then guess what it is?
Don't know. Break it to me gently.
Summer.
Yes, my favorite.
Yes.
My favorite.
Your
time
pool
of year.
will be open. We are going to just I'm going to spend some time in your pool this summer and take it easy.
Just
I need
float it around.
I need a vacation.
Yeah,
I'm going to make her backyard my vacation.
That's right.
Can't afford to
Bring
go on
it
a real
on.
one.
Yeah. Well, that wind, did you see? But I didn't show you a picture of the tree. We have a tree that's those two little trees where my outhouse is at. But the outhouse is finally history.
Oh,
it's gone.
It crushed it.
Yeah, and that tree is leaning. The big roots are up out of the ground. The only
you
thing,
better get that taken care of.
It is. We called Doug Lindsay, and he actually came over.
Good.
And so he and Jim are probably going to try to get that down tomorrow. But yeah, Jim's mom and dad live next door to us now. And Grandpa, he can't hear.
Oh.
And he was down there, he's been like, getting his little four-wheeler out with that and he's been like picking up sticks and stuff. My father-in-law was there's 2 trees.
Oh, that's super dangerous. I'm glad he didn't get hit.
Oh, me too. Yeah, because he was picking up, and he didn't hear it.
He didn't need to be outside in that wind.
And he tried telling an early wine
What to do.
And the roots, so it literally leaned over. So this tree's here, and this one's like, so, and the only thing that's holding up is the other tree that's not real stable either. So Jim called Toby Reinhardt was down the area, and Jim was like, what do you want me to do? He's like, you know what? They examined it. It's like, well, it's too windy to do it. Just let it ride. Even if it falls, it's going to fall cattywampus in the road. So no houses. But like the big roots are out. And like, that little fake sidewalk from that house we tore down, it's all busted up.
Oh, my.
Outhouse is history.
Yeah, I saw there was another tree in town, too, that I saw that it was in a vacant lot, but it blew over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
It was
crazy.
some serious wind we had this past week.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Like the other tree caught it, and Jim's like, well, I might as well. Now, my husband, one tree goes, they all got to go. When we bought our house, we had lots of trees. Mm-hmm. But they were gumball trees.
Oh.
And I about broke my ankle on those.
Yeah, no, I would break my ankle on those. My friend Ashley, she has, when her leaves turn, it's beautiful.
They're beautiful.
When it's shady in her yard, it's beautiful. But she has so many gumball trees, and they spend so much time out there raking up those stupid gumballs.
Why did we plant gumball trees? What's the purpose of the gumball?
I don't know.
Why did God do that?
I know. It's on my list of
Gumballs
questions.
and mosquitoes, Lord.
And ticks. Please explain yourself on those few things.
Yeah, I don't get it. Because they don't serve any purpose.
No.
And then we also cut another tree
Well, I mean,
down.
I guess the purpose is the tree reproduces,
Right,
and it has seeds in it, and it scatters, and they reproduce.
But they're just sharp little prickly things.
Yeah, they're.
And then we had another tree that had to come down, like one of the big, ugly walnut.
Oh.
But like the walnuts were like big, and they had like a greeny thing.
Yeah, a walnut tree.
But they were gross. They weren't like.
Yeah.
Good walnuts.
Well, walnut trees are not, like, the things that fall from those are not pretty.
They're not, and they're rotten most of the time. It's gross.
Mm-hmm. There used to be one in my grandma's backyard on
so it had to come down.
West 4th. Mm-hmm.
And then the most beautiful tree, the reason why I bought my house, with the first place, there was this beautiful red, I think it must have been a maple tree, I don't know, but it turned as red can be, and it was huge, and it hung over the road. It was one of those that would hang over the road. First one to turn red at fall.
He cut that down?
No, tornado.
Oh.
No.
Dang it.
I was sick.
I bet.
I was happy that it didn't fall because it did come toward the house. But, yeah, and it hung down. It was.
We don't have any trees in our yard at all.
I don't have one now. They're all gone.
Yeah, I don't have any. The people that lived before us, they got rid of all of the trees. The neighbors have a tree that kind of hangs over our driveway a little bit, and it gives us some shade. But other than that, like no.
My Riddle property, I bought Dale Nicholson's house, and Dale's got a lot of trees, but unfortunately, some of them have had to been trimmed up and stuff. And Jim's like, I don't take them trees down. It's like, just leave them alone. Mm-hmm. Leave them alone. I don't want them gone because it makes a beautiful shady yard. Mm-hmm. Get back there. And I don't know. We got to have trees.
Yep, you got to have trees.
Got to have trees. Quit cutting them down. That's the other thing. You want to know why it's so windy in town? Quit cutting down
the tree lines.
The tree lines.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Yeah.
People are like, why is it so windy anymore? It's like, drive around town.
Yeah. All the trees are gone.
All the trees are gone. The farmers are cutting down all the tree
Yeah.
lines, and you got to have that. Did I ever tell you about that time with that tree line there on Stanford Road, South Stanford, like when you go East Drive? So I'm on East Drive going to the ball field. Then you got the T road that's Stanford. There used to be a row of trees right there. I was just trucking along. I think I was going down to Jackie's Hidden Treasures down in Sisney. Trucking along, I had my eyesight on that tree line, right? Well, the tree line I had my eyes on was the one over on the other side by Industrial Park. And I was just barreling down through there and didn't realize that I almost ran through that T road because they just cut down my tree lines that I'm used to stopping me. Yeah, no, got to have tree lines.
Yep.
Gotta have them. All right, Ty, let's see what I picked here today. Let's see here. Look at this bright one. Omo adds brightness to whiteness. Have you ever heard of Omo?
Omo, no.
Adds brightness to colored too. So this is a detergent from the 50s or some sort of bleaching element, I'm assuming. But basically, you want to know why I picked this ad? The red shoes.
Oh, okay.
The red
Cute.
shoes and the little bobby socks that she's got on have a little bit of yellow ring around it and that bright yellow
Skirt.
Yeah, it doesn't take much for me.
Yeah, I
thought
like
that
the
was really-
colors.
I thought that was a cute ad. She's in that little swing. Omo adds brightness to whiteness and brightness to colors. Look how they did colors. See, that's a weird way to spell color.
I feel like this is from Canada or
It must
the UK.
Color ads.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm finding all sorts of weird ads that I've never seen, so that must be.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, well, that's a cute ad. I like that bright, because yellow's my favorite color. Yellow, and then I'm like, ooh, I'm digging those red shoes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cute. I've never heard of Omo.
I haven't either, but now we have.
Now we
So
have.
we've learned something new.
That's right. I learn something new every day.
Okay, well, we are going to take a commercial break, and we're going to come back with something fantastic, I'm sure.
Okay, we'll be right back.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
Goldfinger, trying to destroy the courthouse, I see.
Precisely, Mr. Frog.
Too bad, Goldfinger. I've got a secret weapon.
Huh?
Building center. Zinc building center.
We'll need new lumber, doors, paint, windows, plumbing, electrical.
It was good.
Zinc Building Center and Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and I'm still loving my Oskaloosa book here. It's just got all sorts of neat stuff. And I know a long time ago we covered some of the Blackhawk War. And then I came across some of these really neat letters and stuff that were written, and I'm like, okay. And when we covered the Blackhawk War, I'm finding that, like, in different research and different books and stuff that we're picking up, that even though we may have covered something, there's new material to be talked about. And the Blackhawk War was probably one of the top 10 ones we first did. And since we started the show, we have
It
quite
was
a
an
few.
early.
It was
early
early,
one.
so we may touch back on some of those early episodes because I do know that we're getting quite a following. Yeah, I wonder if they watch us on YouTube or if they mainly watch us on Wabash. What are you getting from people? I don't really even ask.
I don't. I think it's a complete mixture.
Yeah, I don't know. That YouTube thing I don't understand, but whatever. But if we get how many followers on YouTube before you start getting
Making a lot of money. I don't think we're there yet. But like and share our page.
But anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Blackhawk War here. It says, in spite of the fact that a fine memorial has been erected to the veterans of Clay County who went to the Blackhawk Indian War, the history about the deeds of these men seems to remain a sort of enigma. To the elimination of this mystery, or at least part of it, the author has dedicated his efforts to this article. It would be pointless on this page to spend time in commenting on the details which led up to the war, but rather we will start with a much disturbed governor, John Reynolds, who had been with his men in the field off and on for almost 1 year. Reynolds was a veteran Indian fighter himself, having fought as a United States Ranger in the War of 1812. But things were far different now. Just a few hours at Stillman's Run, the militia had suffered a terrible defeat, and now it seems that the war was far from over. The Battle of Stillman's Run was located in the northeast part of what is now Ogle County, about 25 miles from Dixon's Ferry on the Rock River, where Governor Reynolds was encamped. At 3 a.m., the governor was awakened in his tent by General Samuel Whiteside, who related the terrible news. Refugees were just now arriving at Fort Dixon, and the weary, defeated soldiers were telling of the completely disorderly defeat of Colonel Isaiah Stillman's brigade. The governor soon was sending dispatch riders in all directions, and by daylight he had letters ready for most trusted aides to carry southward for volunteers to put down the Indian invasion. He called in John Wakefield, Robert Blackwell, and John Ury, who carried the letters. So these are some of the letters that were written.
Okay.
You know, I can't. And how would you even? I'm watching this. Have you ever watched the series Poldark?
No.
You'd like it.
I don't like that name. Sounds weird.
But it's okay. But
Okay.
it's really good.
Okay.
It's on Netflix, or you can find it. Poldark
Okay.
is really good. It's period pieces that we like. And,
Okay.
And I'm like, even just like from, you know, there's this part of one of the main parts of this is even like from like if I would send like a writer would come by and I'd send a written note to you and he'd write it to your house.
Oh.
You know what I mean? That's just
Okay.
kind of how they were back and forth. It's I watch those shows and I'm thinking I can't imagine being on horseback everywhere I went.
I guess you get used to it. Your body's in shape, and you just
They don't eat cookies and
Yeah, they don't eat all these cookies and
well, and the other thing is how those women ride side saddle.
I don't know.
I fall off. Have you been on a horse?
Never in my life.
You've never been on a horse?
Never.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, how do those women do that?
I don't know. I guess they start at an early age and they get their balance.
Yeah,
because
because I guess it was not.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't even ride it regular and keep my balance. I'm sure.
Well, yeah, because like I've been on. We used to have horses when I was younger, and then I have friends that they had horses. My Aunt Marie had horses, even in the south of the town. I remember a day like Aunt Marie lived way down on Austin down there. That the city has that stuff. That was my Aunt Marie's land, and we had horses back there, and we'd ride horses in town, just walk through town and that type of thing. But I'm telling you, it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they did that, and they're in those big old honking dresses.
Yeah. Whew.
I can't even get in my car with a coat on without getting irritated.
Well, I have a big old dress that I wear when I do my Jane Stickle impersonation portrayal thing, and just getting in and out of the car in that thing is a trick.
Yeah.
It's a Civil War dress. It's a big hoops and just it's tricky.
Yeah, and so like these girls are getting up, not like they're throwing their leg way over there in this dress, and so they have to get up there and I don't know. Good, you think it'd throw your back off?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Okay. Doesn't take me much to.
Glad it's not us.
Me
I'm happy
too.
in my jeans.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Dear citizens, it becomes my duty to again call on you for your services in defense of your country. So yeah, you're just getting a letter down the mail. You're just getting somebody's going to drive. This is where we went on that rabbit chase right there.
You just get a letter in the mail.
just
You're going to war.
Yeah, here you go. We need your help to fight Indians. The state is not only invaded by the hostile Indians, but many of our citizens have been slain in battle.
Ugh.
A detachment of mounted volunteers, about 275 in number, commanded by Major Stillman, were overpowered by hostile Indians on Sycamore Creek, about 30 miles in distance, and a considerable number killed. This is an act of hostility, which cannot be misconstrued. I am of the opinion that the Potawatomis, did I say that right? And the Winnebagos have joined the Sacs, and all may be considering as waging war against the United States.
Wow.
To subdue these Indians and drive them out of the state, it will require a force of at least 2,000 mounted volunteers, in addition to troops already in the field. I have made the necessary requisition of proper officers for the above number and have no doubt that the citizens and soldiers of the state will obey the call of their country. They will meet at Hennepin on the Illinois River in companies of 50 each on the 10th of June next to be organized into brigades. And that was by the John Reynolds, the commander-in-chief. John Reynolds was the governor when all this was happening. So basically, you're getting a letter from the governor saying it's time to go to war.
Can you imagine getting the mail and seeing that you had a letter from the governor?
No.
Being like, oh, really?
Really, governor? Really, governor? No, I don't think so. We don't really, I mean, when we covered the Blackhawk War last time, I don't even remember, I can't remember, of course my brain's not like it used to be, but I don't even remember talking about the governor at the time, do you? Do you remember talking about John Reynolds?
No.
Me neither. Maybe he wasn't even mentioned.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That was in 2023.
Really?
I think that we did that episode. That's been a long time ago.
So is that when we started this adventure?
Uh-huh.
So we've been doing it for when did we start? Todd, do you remember when was our first episode?
He can probably look it up, but it was in 23.
Wow.
February of 23.
23. Wow.
So we've been doing this a while.
Yeah.
No wonder we can't remember those early episodes. If we don't remember them, no one else does either. I'm
That's
sure
right.
we could revisit those topics, I bet.
Yeah, exactly. It was Robert Blackwell, aide-de-camp to Governor John Reynolds, who personally wrote into Maysville with the above letter on May 24th. Now, do we all remember where this is your, those old
This
viewers.
is your quiz. Where's Maysville?
Where's Maysville? Maysville is over in it's now Clay City. And if you're going through the light there at the caution light in Clay City, if you turn south, that's all Maysville. And that was the first county seat. That was our man, what was his name? The one you don't like, the one that just...
Macaulay.
Was it John Macaulay? Uh-huh. John Macaulay and the old Maysville crew. But anyway, on May 24th, Blackwell also bore a personal note to John Ridgway, who was a very well-known merchant and innkeeper in Maysville. He had traveled nearly 300 miles across the wilderness of Illinois before reaching Clay County. So the Black Hawk War, Clay County, I don't think people realize when we talked about, those earlier episodes with Macaulay and that type of thing, Clay County was full of Indians. Mm-hmm. We had Indians and wild prairie and buffalo, all that stuff roamed our area. So that's what we're getting ready to do. We're getting ready to fight. Can you imagine if you think back whenever you're just driving our roads right now and you just think about that war that happened because battles were fought right here.
Yeah.
Right here in Clay County. It was probably Sheriff Robert Toller who spread the alarm to the citizens, or at least supervised it being done, and a meeting was held on May 29th at the county seat of Maysville. There were 42 men who volunteered and elected officers at the first meeting, and also agreed to meet at Sutton's Point on the first day of June. And we all know Sutton's Point is in Oskaloosa. The march northward was started on June 2nd, 1832. Hennepin, which was located about 50 miles north of Peoria, was the destination. On this first march, the company covered well over 200 miles, but it is unknown exactly just what day they arrived. They did have a few days to rest and were issued a few articles of camp gear while they were waiting. So you've got all these men walking, 42 men walking to north of Peoria.
Yeah.
I don't even like getting in my car and driving to Peoria.
I remember talking about that part.
Yeah, I can't even. That would be an interesting interesting walk. Mm-hmm. We are going to take a commercial break, and we will be right back with some more story.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield banking companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Since 2004, Ed Lewis Trucking has been moving America forward. Family-owned and built on values that matter. Reliability, hard work, and service you can count on. From dry van freight to dump and hopper bottoms, plus top-tier truck maintenance in their state-of-the-art shop that's open to all truckers, not just their own fleet. They're growing stronger, expanding with their recent acquisition of McKinney Trucking, but never losing sight of what drives them. It's Ed Lewis Trucking, family-driven, service-proven. Call Ed Lewis Trucking at 618-686-3555.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County, Farmers Mutual Insurance.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Early Wine. We're going over some interesting letters that were written for the Blackhawk War when they were just beginning this war. All these, now we're talking about the 42 men who are walking to north of Peoria. All the soldiers were federalized militia. Each man furnished his own horse, rifle, and clothing. The government did furnish some cookware and food, but within a few days, it was reported by W.C. Bryant, a New York editor who was passing through the area, that they are a hard-looking set of men.
I bet.
You think?
No showers. They're all dirty. They're all scraggly. They all have beards. They're all skinny, and they have horses that they probably packed like as much food as they could onto, but probably not a lot. Yeah, they probably didn't look good. They were probably hungry and grouchy.
They were. I would have been hungry and grouchy. They were unkempt and unshaven and eager to make war. But there are so many delays that the settlers complain that these citizen soldiers are too often making war upon their pigs and chickens than upon the Indians.
So they were hungry.
They were hungry. Captain John Onstott, who was the commanding officer of the Clay County Men, reported that his company was brigaded with mounted riflemen under Captains Arden Biggerstaff. That's a name, isn't it?
Arden Biggerstaff.
Arden Biggerstaff, James Hall, James Clark, and Berryman Wells.
Berryman?
Berryman. Biggerstaff and Berryman.
Nice to meet you. I'm Biggerstaff. This here's Berryman.
Berryman. But you can call me John.
You can call me Al.
You can call me Al. This made up of the 3rd Regiment, which was under the command of Colonel Samuel Leach. They were attached to the 1st Brigade, which was under General Alexander Posey. On June 19th, these men started a march for Dixon's Ferry, having been at Hennepin about 10 days. As it is believed, they arrived there about June 9th. The march northward continued from Dixon's Ferry, and the men from Clay County found themselves about 100 miles away from Hennepin and very close to the Wisconsin border. They arrived just in time on June 25th to relieve the militia who had been fighting the Battle of Kellogg's Grove. You know, was this war just designated in a certain area, or did the entire country?
No, I think it was just around our area.
I think it was just here, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was like northern Illinois, Indiana.
Yeah,
I don't know. I can look that up.
The Indians are out of control because they're just,
The Kellogg's Valley. It makes me think of a valley of cereal.
Yeah. It was this battle that Lieutenant Governor Zadok Casey had been wounded. The bullet had passed through his leg and into his horse, and needless to say, both were taken out of the war for the duration. The brigade did not take part in the battle, but had arrived just as it ended. They had marched all the way from Dixon's Ferry with the independent company of Captain Jacob Early, in whose ranks was a former captain whose entitlement had expired, and he had enlisted as a private. He was not at all well known at the time. His name was Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, that's interesting. He was not at all well known at this time. His name was Abraham Lincoln. I'm assuming it's the Abraham Lincoln since they worded it that way.
Yeah. Ty, I'm sending you a picture.
From the location, they pushed on into the Wisconsin wilderness to Fort Hamilton, and by June 29th, had been ordered to march to Lake Koshkonong on the headwaters of the Rock River, and there to brigade with men under Colonel Henry Dodge, who was operating a system of heavy cavalry patrols in an attempt to locate the elusive Blackhawk. For the first 10 days in July, the Army tried vainly to locate the main body of the Indians, because Blackhawk is the leader of this. When it's called the Blackhawk War, they're going after the main Indian chief.
Blackhawk, which I just sent a picture to Ty of
Okay,
Blackhawk.
let's show a
We're going to take
picture.
well, it's going to take him a minute.
Okay, I'll keep going.
Well, okay, get to a stopping point and I'll tell a little bit about him.
Well, go ahead and do it now.
Okay. Well, and a little background on that, on the Blackhawk War. I mean, she's talking about what the Clay County boys did, but in general, it was a conflict between the United States and the Native Americans, led by Black Hawk, a Sauk leader. That was his tribe, S-A-U-K. The war erupted after Black Hawk and a group of Sauks, the Meskwakis and the Kickapoos, known for the British band, they crossed the Mississippi River to Illinois from Iowa Indian Territory in April of 1832. But Black Hawk's motives were ambiguous, and he was apparently hoping to reclaim land that was taken over by the United States in the 1804 Treaty of St. Louis. So he wanted his land back, basically. And I mean, you know, it's hard.
It's such a difficult. The whole thing is difficult.
And so, anyway, that's what started the war. So yes, it was in Illinois. I think part of it was in southern Wisconsin, but this general area is where I believe the entire war was fought.
So where was Blackhawk's main? Where was he at? Was he up in the Peoria area? Because we're marching to Peoria, but we end up on the Wisconsin border. So he was in Illinois.
He was actually in southern Wisconsin, I think. U.S. officials, convinced that the British band was hostile, mobilized a frontier militia, which is what our Clay County boys were, and opened fire on a delegation from the Native Americans on May the 14th of 1832. Black Hawk responded by successfully attacking the militia at the Battle of Stillman's Run. He led his band to a secure location into what is now southern Wisconsin, and he was pursued by U.S. forces. So they basically chased him up to southern Wisconsin. And then they raided forts and colonies, largely unprotected with the absence of the militia. There was a lot of different tribes that were involved. I'll skip down, and it said the Black Hawk War gave Abraham Lincoln his brief military service, although he saw no combat. Other participants who would later become famous included Winfield Scott, Zachary Taylor, he also became a president, right?
Yep.
Jefferson Davis, he also became a president, but not of the North, and James Clyman. The war was used to justify the U.S. policy of Indian removal, in which Native American tribes were pressured to sell their lands and move west of the Mississippi.
Interesting.
And Black Hawk's, all of his warriors were weakened by hunger, death, and desertion.
Right.
Yeah, pretty sad.
That is sad.
Yeah.
I wonder whatever happened. I wonder where he's buried. I mean, if there's any memorials to Black Hawk somewhere.
I don't know. The disputed territory was all in Illinois, but a little bit in northern Missouri and a little bit in southern Wisconsin.
Okay. Isn't it funny that it's up there and Clay County men are going, because we're like, lower middle part.
Yeah, we weren't really in the part that they were fighting over. Did we get a picture? Yeah, here's his
There he
picture.
is, yeah.
That's Blackhawk.
Cool.
Yeah, I
Never seen a picture. We've never, even when I don't ever remember seeing this picture. Yeah.
I think he was just a man fighting for what he believed in.
He was.
He doesn't look evil to me.
Oh, no. He just was,
Yep.
He was doing what anybody else would probably do.
Yeah. Yep.
It was believed that 4 Clay County men were attached to a special squad of spies who rode in close to the Indians and otherwise tried to search out the main body. They were Hugh McDaniel, Robert McDaniel, Perky Martin, and James Tompkins. Captain Onstadt reported them on detached services on August 15th. When the remainder of the company was discharged, and the official state archives has these men been discharged at Dixon's Ferry on August 2nd with Lieutenant Green DePriest's company. That I can't imagine being a spy and spying on the Indians.
No.
That would be terrifying.
That would be terrifying.
Yeah.
Those were brave dudes.
They were brave men.
Ugh.
There was a certain amount of inactivity for the men until July 10th, 1832, when they were ordered back to Fort Hamilton, where they were to remain, but for a few days before marching northward toward the Wisconsin River. Posey's force at this time only numbered about 150 mounted men, as he had been burdened by sickness of both men and horses. The intersection with the Wisconsin River and the 1st Brigade occurred at the abandoned Little Lead mining town of Helena. At this place, the men were kept busy with construction of rafts with which the main army, under the command of General Henry Atkinson, could cross the river. Many empty cabins stood at Helena, and these were used in the construction of the rafts. The Battle of Wisconsin Heights had been fought just a few days previous, only about 12 miles upstream from this location. The crossing of the Wisconsin River was undertaken on July 27, 1832, and the Army began its march on to the north as they attempted to close the gap on the retreated Indian Army. It is interesting to note that most of the militia correspondence of General Atkinson's was signed by the aide-de-camp Albert Sidney Johnston, who had graduated from West Point Military Academy in 1826.
So his clerk was the one signing everything.
Yep. After the Blackhawk War, Johnston went to Texas and enlisted in the Texas Army as a private. He was with General Sam Houston at the Battle of San Jacinto in April 1836, and later served as a colonel of volunteers in the Mexican War. At the outbreak of the Civil War, he became one of the most brilliant generals in the Confederate Army and was killed at the Battle of Shiloh, April 6, 1862.
Okay, so he served in 3 wars. Let's just talk about this. He got through he got through this battle with the Indians, and what I would have done is been like, I'm so glad that's over. I'm ready to get on with my life.
I'm retiring.
Let me go find a farm in the country with nobody around for 40 miles and live my life and have a wife and kids.
No, not this guy.
No, not this guy. He's like, where's the next one? I'm ready.
Let's go Texas.
Oh, there's one foreman in Texas. I'm there.
We just fought the Indians. Now let's go fight the Mexicans.
Yeah. So then he moves to Texas, goes and does that, and then
goes to become a Confederate soldier.
And then he's like, okay, yeah, that one's done. Okay, where are we going next? Oh, there's one foreman right here, and between the South and the North, I'm there.
Yeah.
Like, what?
He was killed at the Battle of Shiloh. Yeah. Yeah.
And that would be his last.
Sidney Johnston. Yeah, and he was a graduate of West Point.
West Point's been around a long,
West Point's been around
time.
for a day or two. Yeah. So Mr. Sidney Johnston, yeah, he was a go-getter, wasn't he? Very interesting. Yeah, 3 wars. Can you 3 bloody awful. awful.
Yeah, and terrible conditions.
Terrible conditions. Not only just the nastiness of war, but just the conditions you're living in. Sickness and
Yeah, he's lucky he didn't die of like dysentery or something.
Yeah, just awful. We're going to take a commercial break, and then we'll be right back.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
This is Christy, inviting you to wrap yourself in lasting luxury at Carnaby Square. We specialize in one-on-one customer service, high quality, head-turning, on-trend fashions, footwear, accessories, and a complete line of Brighton leather goods and jewelry. If you want to nix fast fashion and invest in a true-to-size, ethically manufactured wardrobe that you'll wear for years, it's time to treat yourself at Carnaby Square in downtown Fairfield.
At Clay County Hospital, we are dedicated to providing quality care for you and your family. Our skilled medical team is committed to your well-being, ensuring that you receive the personalized attention you deserve. From filling your prescriptions at our state-of-the-art pharmacy to a visit with our compassionate behavioral health providers, we're here to support you every step of the way in your journey. Experience the difference at Clay County Hospital, where your health is our priority. Clay County Hospital, complete care, start to finish.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. We're talking about the Blackhawk War and how the men from Oskaloosa walked all the way to Peoria to fight.
Yeah, and beyond Peoria even.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the way to the Wisconsin border to Helena.
Raise your hand if you want to walk to Wisconsin right now.
Raise your hand if you don't even want to walk to your car.
Yeah, no.
Let's go.
Nobody wants to walk to Wisconsin.
No, and you're not, and you're carrying everything.
Yeah,
it'd be bad enough just to walk.
And you don't know where your next meal is coming from for you or your horse.
Or
probably.
Your horse. Yeah, I feel as bad for the horses as I do anybody.
I know they didn't ask for it.
On the night of August 1st, 1832, Lieutenant Johnston wrote a hasty dispatch to the other forces in the area. General Atkinson directs me to inform you that we are encamped near the camp occupied by the enemy last night, and the troops under this command will march against him at 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. The general expects to overtake the enemy early in the day on the banks of the Mississippi. They have been hard pressed by the troops. Their route from the Wisconsin, I guess Wisconsin used to be called Wisconsin, is to, because it's got it in parentheses. That's weird. I never knew that.
That OI at the beginning could be Wisconsin. It's an old spelling.
Cool. Is stewed with the dead generally from wounds received in the battle of the Wisconsin, and they suffer much for provisions. They subsist entirely on horse flesh. So now they have to eat their horsies. That'd be sad.
That's horrible.
That is horrible. You will lose no time in sending a steamboat up the river, but on board 60 barrels of flour, 30 barrels of pork, and a 6-pounder with a sufficient quantity of fixed ammunition and 5,000 rounds of musket ammunition. And so right now they're fighting on the Mississippi.
And I'm worried that flour has bugs in it.
Yeah, they probably don't care.
Ugh.
We wouldn't like it, but I doubt if they care. So yeah, we're fighting at the battle in Wisconsin. They're en route to Wisconsin. They're on the Mississippi. Everything's going downhill. They're having to eat their horses, but finally there is a steamboat coming up the river with flour, pork, and ammunition. On the next day was fought the Battle of Bad Axe, which was to be the final battle of the Blackhawk War.
Are you saying Bad Axe?
Bad Axe.
These guys were totally bad axe.
Yeah, they were bad axe. I'm going to start saying that.
Yeah.
Man, you're a real bad axe. I got this kind of a... yeah, I mean...
This is a bad axe war.
That's a bad axe war. This was the only actual combat action of the men from Clay County. So,
the only battle they fought in was Bad Axe.
So Clay County militia were Bad Axe. As the reader may notice from the crude map furnished by the author, which I didn't send a picture of the author or of the map, the final assault and pincher movement, which caught the Indians at Bad Axe Creek. On this final approach, General Posey's men were not able to ride down the steep bluffs at the river, and they were forced to countermarch to a more suitable place and united with Atkinson's force, and then entered the battle area. You know something I would like for us to, I think we should cover some of the Trail of Tears.
Yeah.
We've never done that, have we?
You know, the Trail of Tears goes right through Anna, Illinois.
Yeah.
Where we're going in May.
Yeah, we may have to take some pictures of that because I just remember the trail whenever I was going up to Chicago all the time, right when you're getting right around 80, Interstate 80 and that from 57, there's talks about like the Trail of Tears. The Battle of Bad Axe could be considered more of a massacre than an actual battle. In this Indian invasion, many women and children were with the Indian soldiers, and they were shot down with the men. So, people, I don't want to say anything negative about Native Americans, but people think that they were just these peaceful, loving people. They were not. They fought and murdered amongst themselves, killed each other for property and land and women. They stole, they took women, they took children, they treated them as slaves. I think everybody, like a lot of times, want to think, oh, the Indians are just the little old man on the commercial in the 70s with the one teardrop coming down. Indians were Bad Axe themselves.
Right. They were not always the victim.
They were not always the victim. And the other thing is Indians are no different than anybody else. There are good ones and there are bad ones.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was more of a massacre, which was on May 20th, where at least 15 men, women, and children were butchered by the Indians. Because there's a reason why we're going after, the black.
I think originally maybe they tried to live amongst each other, but
that it just didn't work.
Yeah.
In total, probably about 30 civilians were killed by the Indians, and perhaps Bad Axe was a revenge measure. Like all wars with Indians, the Blackhawk War was usually bloody, dishonorable affair on both sides. In this case, few survivors were able to cross the river with Blackhawk, who eventually surrendered to Colonel Zachary Taylor a few days later. He was sent under a heavy guard on the steamer Winnebago all the way to St. Louis and Jefferson Barracks military post. The officer in charge of this detail was Lieutenant Jefferson Davis, who would later become the President of the Confederate States. At the time, Davis was romantically involved with Colonel Taylor's daughter, Sarah Knox Taylor. Taylor did not like Davis at all and attempted to break up the romance, but was not successful, and the pair married 3 years later. Sarah did not live long after the wedding. Within 3 months, she died of natural causes. Zachary Taylor later became President of the United States. Davis became President of the Confederate States, and Lincoln was our Civil War President. Released from prison, the great war chief Blackhawk died on October 3rd, 1838, at the age of 71. It had been estimated that at the beginning of the war, Blackhawk had about 500 fighting Indians under his command. At the end of the war, the Americans had over 2,000 troops in the field. It was a small, dirty, and bloody conflict, and of short duration. It is estimated that about 150 Indians were killed at Bad Axe alone, as compared to about 30 losses for the United States during the entire war. White flags had little meaning during the Indian Wars and were frequently fired upon by Indians and whites alike. Okay. Both sides were just, everybody was over by this time. The soldiers from Clay County were discharged at Dixon's Ferry on August 15th, 1832, and drew 8 days of rations with which to travel home.
What day did they march out?
Gosh, I can't remember.
I don't think they were gone real long.
No, May 15th to 32.
Oh, so about a year.
May to August. They
Okay.
left on May 13th, and now they're back up May, June, July. 4 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
4 months. I thought you said April a minute ago. They came back in April.
Yeah.
No, August.
August. They have been gone from home for a total of 85 days.
Okay. Oh, we should have just kept reading. Stop and do our own math.
During this time, they had marched an estimated 1,200 miles. This would be well over 10 miles per day on an average. In spite of the statement of Abraham Lincoln that more blood was shed from mosquito bites than from bullets, it was still hard duty. From the snake-infested swamplands of Wisconsin to the vast sweltering prairies of Illinois, which seemed to be endless, it would have been a hard task at hand with few, if any, comforts for the body. A complete roster of this company was listed in the spring issue of Clay Roots in 1993. This is as it appears on the memorial of Oskaloosa's Sutton's Point Cemetery. So when you go to Sutton's Point, when you go into that cemetery, there is a roster of all the men who were in the Blackhawk War.
Yep, it's well done.
When the men were discharged, only 26 original 42 were present. It seems that 12 had been granted furloughs and 4 had been discharged under another command or otherwise detached service. Private A.S. Fitzgerald is listed in Clay County history as broke down and returned home. But the archives in Springfield make this more clear. It was his horse that broke down, and he was forced to leave his horse and saddle behind on July 19th, somewhere near the Wisconsin River.
Oh.
Evidently, Fitzgerald made it home on foot, which that alone should have made him eligible for some sort of honorable mention, to say the least.
Yeah, no kidding.
Captain Onstott listed himself as having lost his camp hatchet by unavoidable accident, and Lieutenant Alfred Moore had lost a screwdriver and the ramrod for his rifle. The captain did see to it that his men were able to bring home some useful items. At his final recapitulation, he wrote, and we quote verbatim, "I do hereby certify that all of the 10 years drawn from the United States for the use of my company is worn out in this service." The 10-year, and then it says 10 where.
The tinware they
The
ate off of.
tinware. Yeah, the 10-year tinware drawn from the United States.
That's a quote, so he just misspelled.
Yeah.
Where.
I do hereby certify that all the tinware drawn from the United States for the use of my company is worn out in this service.
Use of my company.
Use.
He didn't know how to spell.
He didn't know how to spell, did he?
Yeah, you have to decipher it. So
Yeah,
he's
'cause-
saying he certifies that all of the tinware that they ate off of their plates and everything was drawn from the United States for the use of the company, and it's all worn out.
And like he spells 10-year, the wear, and he spells the use, Y-O-U-S-E.
Yeah.
And service, S-U-R-V-I-S. Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Blackhawk War it's very interesting.
For sure. We should be proud of the men from Clay County that went,
Oh, yeah.
that got the letter from the governor, and they're like, I'll go.
Yep, they didn't even think twice.
Yep, they didn't hesitate. They just
Yep.
did what they had to do.
Yep.
So,
We're
yeah.
out of time.
Okay. No time for a joke?
Nope,
we're
we're
done. Thanks for
knocking-
joining us. It was so much fun. We'll see you next time. Bye.
God bless you and have a great day.